It's so heavy right out the gate.
God damn it! You don't want to stop listening to that though, man.
Yeah, that was the first one, like the very first As I Lay Dying song that I heard, and I think I was watching the music video even. And when he just opens up with that blaring scream, I was just like, "Oh my God, what is this? What is this?" Yeah.
What's going on today, guys? If you recognize us, maybe somehow from our Cooked in Chaos YouTube channel, this is our second one. We wanted to have a place for music and maybe some games, but we were musicians first before we transitioned into the food life. So there was just no way we couldn't start a channel for music and all of those things. So today's video, we wanted to do a list of 5 bands that got us into music when we were just little ones.
Do the first 5. First 5 that got us into metal/metalcore.
Yes, even if some of those bands weren't exactly metal or metalcore, you know, we'll probably talk about some of the earlier bands. You know, our parents' music. Everyone listens to their parents' music first, despite what it is.
Yeah, we've added a few honorable mentions. Ones that aren't necessarily the first 5 that we started listening to, but just some honorable mentions that kind of influenced us on the way, I guess.
Yeah, so starting off, you want to start with one of yours?
Sure, yeah. Okay. So the very first on my list was As I Lay Dying, and the album that I first heard from them was Shadows Are Security, and the specific song was Confined.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, started off pretty heavy.
That's, I think, a far cry from mine, but hey.
So yeah, this was my very first. This was my first love.
I recognize this.
That
I remember
artwork,
quite a few songs off of this. Isn't Through Struggle on this album?
I believe so. Think so.
I think that was the first As I Lay Dying song that I heard. See if I recognize it off rip.
It's so heavy right out the gate.
These guys go so hard.
Yeah, buddy.
God damn it! You don't want to stop listening to that though, man.
Yeah, that was the first one, like the very first As I Lay Dying song that I heard, and I think I was watching the music video even. And when he just opens up with that blaring scream, I was just like, "Oh my God, what is this? What is this?" Yeah, just fell in love like with the first one and just never looked back.
Did you see it on TV or what?
No, I think my friend and I were just watching YouTube at his house, and he showed me this. Yeah.
What's the date on this?
I want to say like 2005. Here, let me look real quick. I got it pulled up. 2005 was the album, like when it released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like literally maybe just right after YouTube started.
Yeah, it was like I was like a sophomore, maybe a freshman in high school.
Okay. Oh my God.
So I think I was a freshman in high school, and it was probably a year after this album came out when I saw it.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out my first one. Some good old Korn, taking it way back. I think this was also, this had to have been also 2005 when I found these guys. I remember I was in middle school then, and everybody in the town over where I grew up, everyone was super into metal. But back then it was like I think the band that I liked the most then was Bon Jovi, actually. I really did. I liked him a lot because my parents liked him.
Nice.
And I remember kids wearing Korn t-shirts, Slipknot t-shirts. And at first, I think I was actually scared to listen to it. But I heard this song and I was like, oh shit. All right. Dude, they always have the craziest music videos.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one this is.
Oh, I'm sure you'll know. Even if you didn't listen to much Korn.
I didn't, honestly.
I don't think I've ever actually seen the music video for this.
I think I remember this music video. Okay.
Dude, they look so cool. Rocking those Ibanez guitars.
Playing his bass almost like it's an upright.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It just fucking it just went hard.
Yeah.
I think I scared my parents a little bit when I came home listening to that.
Oh, dude, yeah. When I was listening to As They Lay Dying, my mom's like, "What is this?" She's like, she thought I was like getting into like devil worship stuff.
Yep.
I was like, "No, Mom,
Yep.
no. They're like a Christian band. They're Christians that are in a band and everything. They just like metal."
Oh, I forgot those guys actually were. Yeah, well, coming home with Korn was a different story, especially when I moved on to Slipknot.
You know, okay, I think honestly the reason I didn't really get into Korn that much was because like all the gym bros at my high school were listening to Korn in the weight room. And I always thought like, you guys don't even know what heavy is. Like just thinking like I'm so cool because I was listening to As I Lay Dying and all these other bands. Dang, nice. Falling Away From Me. Yeah, I think I do remember that music video actually on probably on like Fuse or something.
Yeah, I used to religiously watch that. All right, what's number 2?
So number 2 for me was August Burns Red. The album was Messengers, and song is Composure. Still one of my favorites.
Oh shit. August Burns Red. Oh man. Got those Mesa cabs. See, I didn't listen to these guys much at all. I remember there was like 2 kids that were really, really into August Burns Red.
Oh, yeah.
But by that time, I was on to like Killswitch and things. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't.
It seemed like, because these guys are also like Christians in a band. I don't know if these guys or As They Lay Dying ever claimed to be an actual Christian band. Like they don't really sing about like Christianity or anything like that. But they were all like Christians in a band. So I think they were kind of like in the same group. Like if you listen to As They Lay Dying, you probably listen to August Burns Red.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's how I always knew them, was just the Christian metal bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys go hard. I actually really need to go back and listen to their whole catalog.
Yeah, and Matt Greiner just almost immediately became one of my favorite drummers after seeing this. I was like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah, that dude's a beast. You know when this one came out? Or well, I guess when, looks like 2007, but is that about when you discovered these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably all around the same year, like 2006, 2007. I found these guys like almost immediately after finding As They Lay Dying. I was listening to both those bands like almost constantly for like a year or 2 straight.
Oh yeah. By then I was well on to like Slipknot. I think I was like in a hard Slipknot phase then.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, what's your second one?
All right. Well, speaking of Slipknot, this was I think the very first Slipknot song from the same kids at school. One of the guys would just run up and shout the lyrics at people. So I think I ended up like Googling the lyrics and took me to this song, and
you're just like trying to eat lunch and some dude's like screaming Slipknot lyrics at you. You're like, what?
They were weird, man. Everyone was running around kicking people in the nuts and screaming Slipknot lyrics.
Brutal.
Yes. Much like this song.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't gotta go too far in. I probably played the other ones a little too long. I'll have to do some editing magic. But yeah, this album is a banger. I think it still is. I think it's tied with Volume 3 for my favorite album.
You know, it's so weird. That's another band that I never like super got into. I think it might have been like, I don't know, I just felt like Korn and Slipknot were like kind of mainstream, even though it's not really mainstream. Like
especially back then. Nowadays,
almost
definitely.
nobody was listening to them back then, but I still thought of it as like more mainstream than like As They Lay Dying or August Burns Red.
And it's super wild too that like we're only a couple years like age-wise apart, and at the time we were only just like 2 towns over, very, very close by. But I don't know, were other kids like super into metal at your school?
No, it was like me and 2 of my friends.
Really?
Yeah, Ben actually was like the one that showed me As They Lay Dying and August Burns Red, and then our other like best buddy Julian also listened to it with us. But yeah, Ben was like the one that was finding them. Like he was finding finding these bands and showing them to us, and we're like, whoa, what is this?
That's crazy, because everybody in our school, it was literally like everyone, even a lot of the popular kids everyone was just super into metal.
Yeah, well, like I said, like the gym bros at my high school would always be listening to Korn. They'd have some Slipknot and like just other like random stuff that I was like, yeah, that's mainstream. I'm listening to As I Lay Dying. You guys don't even know what
you don't even know.
Yeah.
All right. What's your third one?
Ooh, so this one is where we're going to cross a little bit because I know you love them a lot too. Kill Switch Engage, I would say, is like the next big one. And
oh, man.
The very first album and song that I heard was The End of Heartache, and the song was Rose of Sharon. I remember seeing that, I think, probably on Fuse or VH1 somewhere. Seeing the music video, and I was like, whoa, these guys are great too. And then I'd watch YouTube videos of Adam D running around on stage like a maniac.
Yeah, like wearing a fucking tutu or something.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he'd wear like Daisy Dukes and
yeah, and this was one that my mom could actually get into because of the singing. Like, he has such a great singing voice. My mom didn't hate Kill Switch the way that she hated the other two.
That's how it was with my mom too. Like, she didn't, well, certain Slipknot songs she liked more of the slower ones.
Oh yeah.
Not that there were many of them back then, like Vermilion, I guess. But yeah, she was into a lot of the other bands that some I should have probably put in my honorable mentions, like Breaking Ben, and she actually really liked Breaking Benjamin.
Nice.
Good old Rose of Sharon. I think this is one of the first songs I learned how to play on guitar.
Here I stand alone. Turn back time.
I never noticed their drummer has hair in this.
Right? Yeah. Back before he was bald. All of them look so young. Like when we were playing that August Burns Red music video, I was like, wow, they have changed so much.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel like that long ago. Like,
and then Korn too. When you were playing that Korn video, I was like, oh my god, those guys look so young.
Yeah. They're probably, I guess, even in all of these videos that we're watching, they're actually probably slightly younger than both of us.
Actually, yeah.
I bet they're just like early mid-20s.
Probably
in all of these videos we've been watching. But yeah, Kill Switch is a little further down my list, but Kill Switch Engage is tied with Avenged Sevenfold for my favorite band for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, Adam D's just such a genius. Like,
yeah, actually, he's done so much work on a lot of other bands that I've liked, like Parkway Drive. I didn't even know he did their first two records.
So many bands. He's wrote, like, I feel like majority of the early 2000s metalcore that we used to listen to.
Yeah,
he had a heavy, influence on it.
Yeah, his guitar tone on The End of Heartache is, I think, one of the most influential guitar tones there ever has been. It's actually appalling to me that Neural DSP hasn't done a suite with Adam D yet. They've done every other guitar player under the sun, but there's still no Archetype Dukowitz. Someday. I comment on almost all of their new releases like, yo, still waiting. Because come on, man, that'd be so cool to have some of the amps they used back then. That's the only way I'm gonna get their current amp. They play like a Laney Iommi, I think. It's probably like a $10,000, no, maybe not that much, but it's several $1,000 amp they use nowadays.
Dang.
But yeah, Kill Switch, man.
Yeah, I figured I knew we were definitely going to overlap on that one. That one was one that we always had in common, was Kill Switch.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, so my next one, still in this like 2007, 2008 era. I feel like that's just those part of everybody's life. The like middle school era of everyone's life is where they find the music they listen to for forever on, or at least the genres, All right, of course, I had to put Avenged on here. I remember dating a girl in middle school, and the music scene was really, really, really big, and there was this one band there that they just straight up thought they were Avenged Sevenfold. They had the Aviators, they all dressed like them.
Oh man.
They would play Avenged covers, and they would always cover Unholy Confessions, and I remember listening to that song and liking just specifically that song, but didn't really look into their catalog for another couple years. Like I said, when I was dating a girl, she wanted this album for her birthday, and I think I took a picture and sent it to her and showed her. She was stoked. I was like, can I listen to it? And when these organs kicked in, I was like, oh shit. I don't think I ever looked back after that.
Is this the self-titled album?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. That's what it looks like.
or the White Album. Got those classic dueling guitars.
Yeah, they've always had just a super unique sound.
Oh yeah,
like in those early days, like it was so unique.
My son knows this is my favorite band, and he jams them every day, which is pretty cool.
I think the first song I heard of Avenged was Bat Country. Just watching their music video, more than likely on Fuse as well.
Oh yeah,
but I just remember that snare drum. That snare drum is like so just like sounds like a whip.
Yeah, I know the snare. The Rev always had such good drum tones.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're super unique sounding. I mean, I don't think there's another band that sounds like Avenged.
No.
Unless they're doing like a cover of another genre, and then maybe some people can get in the same realm. But yeah, they don't even sound like this nowadays. Nowadays, it's just one big DMT trip.
Yeah, that new album's pretty experimental, but it's still cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, for my fourth one, I don't even know if you've ever listened to these guys. I listen to them quite a bit, and I still do from time to time, and it was Mastodon. The album was Leviathan, and the song was Blood and Thunder.
I don't think maybe In Your Car. I've heard
I'm sure you've probably heard this song specifically in my car. I have a few other songs on my playlist, but I probably have played this with you in my car before.
At that 420 runtime. Nice.
Nice, bro.
Remember when people used to play in higher tunings?
Yeah, remember when higher tunings were heavy? So, funny story about these guys. I guess I don't know if it's funny, but they were having like a lot of issues keeping like a lead vocalist.
Really?
And so the guitar player's like, screw it, I'll just try it. And then they got really famous after he started doing the vocals. They started getting like real big, yeah. So that's why you see him playing guitar and singing. They just couldn't keep a vocalist for whatever reason.
This reminds me of like something you'd hear on like Viva La Bam back in the day.
Dude, I think it might have been, or no, I think it would have been on one of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games,
or
like Underground or something.
Games, yeah.
I think it might have been on Underground.
Maybe it was. The soundtrack on all those games were awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if I remember that. We used to play the hell out of Underground 1 back in the day.
Yeah, me too. Same. I don't know if it was Underground or Underground 2, but I played one of those like nobody's business.
Mastodon, man, I just never even came across my radar.
Yeah, no, they're great. I'll have to send you some stuff because there's a few albums that they have that are just flawless.
All right, we're venturing away from metal. Yeah, we got to get some 3 Days Grace on there because I mean they played a part in me wanting to start a band. Adam's voice, he's still one of my favorite vocalists of all time. His new band, Saint Asonia. If you're itching for some OG 3 Days Grace, you got to check those guys out.
Oh, nice.
2009. Okay, so this is right in kind of in the timeline. I was right. This was it Fuse?
Yeah, I swear that's where I saw most of like the bands that I liked was on like Fuse or just YouTube, like when it was the very early days of YouTube, but we'd just be sitting there watching music videos all day.
That and of course games. I feel like this has probably been on a few games, like WWE Day of Reckoning for the GameCube had a beast of a soundtrack. Nice. We just listened to one in the car going to the store earlier. That Anthrax.
Oh, Anthrax and Public Enemy.
Yes, that was like the main theme for that game. That's where I discovered Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, we were talking. That was like what influenced like all of nu metal, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I saw this on like Fuse, and I think I caught. It was towards the end. It was like the last chorus, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And I think I Googled whatever lyrics I could make out, and just played this song on loop.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with this song, but I'm sure once I hear it,
you'll know it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Already.
Yeah. God, that microphone. All right, everybody knows that song.
Oh yeah.
But back in the day, man, that whole album is a masterpiece.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I could see how that could also like inspire you to get into heavier stuff too, because like especially if like you were going from Bon Jovi to hearing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's big hooks. Big hooks.
Yeah.
That's exactly like that was a huge influence. And then when I met Adam a couple years later, that was one of his favorite bands until I showed him Avenged, and then Avenged was his favorite band. But yeah, we had a huge bond over 3 Days Grace.
Yeah, I remember he was huge into Breaking Ben as well.
Yeah, that and Skillet.
Oh yeah, Skillet.
Always
I remember
gave him
that,
shit
yeah.
for liking Skillet. Hey, they're all right.
Yeah,
they're all right.
Some stuff that was all right, yeah. Okay, my fifth and final one is probably going to blow your mind. I don't know if you've ever listened to these guys either. Well, maybe you might have listened to some of their new stuff because they're still around, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man.
But it's a Job for a Cowboy.
Okay.
The album was Doom. The song is Entombment of a Machine.
Oh, I typed job, and that was what came up.
I think it's still their most popular song, Entombment of a Machine. This was like they originated like the pig squeals in metalcore.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just get ready for these inhales real quick.
You gotta...
Oh, no, just play it from where we are. No, just play this intro. I forgot how good the intro is. Sorry.
All right, I'll just start it over. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I heard that and I was like, I think this is the heaviest thing I've ever heard now. Because like As They Lay Dying was like crazy heavy, but this was just like, what is happening? It's just like melts your face off with a blast beat right out the gate.
Yeah.
And then he's got that like inhale and pig squeal type scream.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but oh man, it was so cool.
I could never wrap my head around those type of vocals. It's oh my God. That's awesome though. I need to actually listen to that whole song after this.
Yeah.
This video, by the way, just screams early YouTube. This is like my childhood. Yeah, I don't think though. I think it was you that showed me these guys.
Probably this song, if I did show you, is probably this song. Like, oh my God, you gotta hear this.
I definitely know them because of you. Yeah, in fact, I think a lot of the heavier bands were because of you that I found out, as I was kind of in that realm that I've been showing. And then Adam also had a similar music taste to me.
Yeah, and then I tried out for drums for you guys and then showed you all this random, like, really heavy stuff. Like, have you guys heard Meshuggah before?
Yeah, and like fucking Texas in July. God.
Oh, yeah, that one, I was about to have Texas in July on this list, but they definitely came a lot later than a lot of these other guys.
Yeah.
Because I kind of started seeing them through their drummer covering Matt Griner's stuff, and then I was like, oh, he's got a band too, and I watched his stuff. I was like, oh, Texas in July is badass. They're really similar to August Burns Red, but they're so heavy.
Yeah, there's so many, like I probably could have done top 100 bands.
Yeah, at least like we could have done like top 50 each or something like that.
Yeah.
Even my honorable mentions, like I only added 3, but I wanted to add like 50 more because I'm like,
yeah,
how do you just only mention these 3?
Yeah, well, if you guys want to see us do a list of our current favorite bands,
yeah, that'd be a good one actually, because I'm listening to a lot of different stuff right now.
Yeah. God, who was that one we just randomly found? We were like just drinking, writing music, and we found that King of Ruination out of nowhere.
What is that band's name? Oh yeah, it's Enterprise Earth.
Yes.
Heavy.
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
the King of Ruination. That song goes hard.
What you got for number 5?
All right, it's our overlap track, Kill Switch, of course.
Was this the first song you heard of Kill Switch?
Yes.
Yeah. How'd you find this one?
I found these guys after this album came out, but it was back when ringtones were still a thing, and I remember it was on the Verizon. It wasn't even an app, was it then? It was just like the Verizon store. You could go in and it was just the chorus of this song. One kid at work had it and no one was calling him. He was just playing the chorus. Like, dude, you gotta check out this new band I just found.
Okay. Funny story about those ringtones. I came up here to go to college, and it was like one of the first ringtones I ever figured out how to get on my phone. And my mom tried to call me because I was doing a campus tour with like other students, and she was doing like a parent tour or something like that. She tried to call me, and it just is Metalocalypse blaring, and like everybody in my class like looks over at me, and I'm just like, sorry, and they just all like giggled at me. It was hilarious.
Like Duncan Hill's coffee jingle.
It was something like that, or maybe Mermaider, where it's like Mermaider, Mermaider, Mermaider. Okay, yeah, let's give this one a listen.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna go a little forward.
Oh yeah. Can you back it up just a little bit right before? Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. That song goes very hard, but yeah, it's super easy to play. Adam and I used to jam that all the time. Just that riff though, the you know, the bends. Yeah, we used to just jam that all the time.
Shall I go into honorable mentions?
Yes.
Okay, so for my first honorable mention, I think it was probably the first thing that almost everybody that likes metal heard, and it was Metallica, their Black album. And like Enter Sandman, all that stuff. I think that was the Black album, right? That had Enter Sandman.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was probably the first one that I actually heard before I had met my friend Ben, who was like, no, dude, that's not even metal. You gotta listen to As I Lay Dying. But that's what I was listening to before I ever met friends who were actually like into like the hardcore and metalcore scene.
Yep, that's I was gonna say that's one of my honorable mentions as well, because my dad and my stepdad were both big Metallica fans.
Yeah, I mean, and you can also say like Black Sabbath, like Dio, like all of those. I was listening to like all of those because those were all cool. But then we get into this metalcore. I was like, I'm not going back. Like, this is so heavy and so cool.
Yeah, man.
But for my second honorable mention, I have A Plea for Purging. They were so close to being on the list, but I just decided for Job for a Cowboy instead because I heard them before A Plea for Purging. But I wanted to put A Plea for Purging because they
were
so
songs?
unique.
I know those guys because of you. That was back when you were showing me all these bands and like fucking remember the Browning and like Abandon All Ships,
like when I was getting you into those, like yeah, that was a weird little phase. It was I don't even know if it was a phase actually. I still listen to the Browning a lot. I don't think Abandon All Ships has much, or I don't even think they're around.
Broke up, or I feel like we looked it up one day and
Malevolence was a great song from A Plea for Purging. I don't even know if they have their first album on Spotify.
Well, while you look that up, one of my honorable mentions, it almost made the list, was Linkin Park. Linkin Park is, you know, they're one of those bands that just unbelievably influential for so many genres outside of nu metal.
Yeah. I remember my brother got, it was Linkin Park Live in Texas CD.
Really?
And it was actually really, really cool. I really liked Linkin Park after that. I wasn't like a huge Linkin Park fan, but I listened to his Live in Texas CD, and that was actually really sick.
Yeah, man. It was mostly Chester's voice and his lyrical content that was a huge influence on me. And then we, of course, have some overlaps. As I Lay Dying was another one of mine.
Yeah, so Malevolence was the very first song I think I heard of A Plea for Purging. I don't remember what album it was. I can't find the album.
We'll have to listen to that later and see if we can get back into
go into some nostalgia.
Because I do remember them.
Yeah, you'll actually really like the guitar parts because it was like, I don't even know how to explain their guitar parts. It was so unique. It was just different. But
yeah.
And my last honorable mention was Haste the Day. I don't know if you ever listened to them.
No, I don't think so.
Man, I'm blanking on it was Burning Bridges. Yeah, their very first album. That was the one that I heard, and it has a song called American Love, which is actually still in my playlist. That was my favorite song of theirs, and yeah, they get an honorable mention because they're around that same time of when I was first getting into that stuff.
All right, my final honorable mention is Parkway Drive.
Oh yeah, Parkway
They've been around
Drive
for a while, but I didn't discover them until I met Adam, and that was my sophomore year. of high school.
Dang.
And then years later, I found out that Adam D from Killswitch did their first, I think it was their first 2 albums, and it just made me fall in love with them even more.
Yeah, they easily could have made my list too. It's just there's so many to choose from. I was like, how did I forget Parkway Drive? But there's just so many to choose from. You're just trying to think of like nostalgia, and you're like, man, there's like literally hundreds of bands I've listened to. Yeah, I know.
Just have to do a live stream one night, sit back and go through old music.
Like a listen party. That would be cool.
Yeah. I actually don't even know how some of that stuff works because copyright's so crazy now. We're gonna have to do some kind of editing magic for the rest of this. But yeah, I think that's the list, guys. If you like what you see here, please subscribe. That would be awesome. Leave a comment. Otherwise, if you're more into food, or if you're also into food, check out our other channel,
Cooked in Chaos.
We make some good food. We got a few reactions on there. I'm losing my voice. It's all the pig squealing I've been doing off camera. But all right, guys, have a good one.
See ya.